Hi, my name is Blake Williams. I'm a recruiter. I've been in the industry for about 10 years, recruiting mostly technical skill sets, software engineers, and things of that nature. But what I've learned so far is very transferable to any skill set. So I want to talk to you guys today about how to succeed in a hyper competitive job market, which we're in right now. I'm sure you know. But let's dive right in. Okay, recruiting in a hyper competitive market. What should I say? The market's crazy. It's crazy. It's absurd, actually. So we're all struggling with it, and it's a moving target most of the time. Month to month, it changes. It's kind of like the housing market, right? You think you can buy a house for X price, you make $100,000 offer over asking, you still lose the house, right? That kind of stuff is happening right now. So same thing is kind of happening, not that absurd, but it's happening in the candidate marketplace too. The salary ranges are getting driven up by market competition and simple supply and demand. And I want to chat more about supply and demand, right? I'm not going to give you guys a full-blown lesson on economics here. You're all in business. You know what's going on as well.
It's this little sticker that's popping up across gas stations all across North Alabama. It's a picture of Joe Biden, and they place it next to the high dollar signs, and underneath it says, "I did that."
And let me move a little bit so you can see. So when you increase the demand, the price goes up. When you decrease the supply, the price goes up. But when both things happen at the same time, the price goes up even more. It shoots up, it skyrockets. You guys don't have to be told that it's becoming harder and harder to find people who are in your industry, because there's a lot of people that are aging out and not enough new people coming into the supply, which thankfully for the organization that supports you guys, they are actually doing a lot to assist. And I'm hearing they're training folks. They have a program like a mentorship, apprenticeship program, which is incredible, by the way. That's alleviating some pressure, but still, it's too much pressure to level out the economics of it. It's only making a small dent. So just know that the prices are going up, right? The cost of your employees are going to go up, and the prices of your services and the materials and the equipment that you sell also going up. It's all going up. What makes your company different than your competitors, right? Stuff you have to think about, right? When you're trying to attract people to your organization, they have a lot of choices. There are many options to choose from. All of your competitors are trying to hire as well. So it's a war. It's a massive war for talent. Why should people work at your company? You have to take a deep look at yourself, figure out where you stand amongst your competitors with what attracts new hires to work there. And I'm talking about anything. I mean, from your website, social media, to your benefits, to your pay. I mean, pay is just one piece of the puzzle. You can't solve everything with just the pay. I mean, it helps a lot, but you're not going to fix it all by just just increasing your salaries, and that's it. What keeps your current employees from leaving? You don't even like to even think about that, right? But you have to, right? Just when you start sleeping, your competitors start creeping in and start talking to your employees, and before you know it, they're walking out the door because X company's offering something better over there.
Uh-oh, somebody's got a frowny face.
Do your current employees feel appreciated? It doesn't make sense to try to hire new employees if your current employees aren't even happy themselves, right? You want to start there, and then do your employees have a career path at your company? Are they going to hit a wall at some point? Does everybody leave your company after they've been there for 2 or 3 years, and you only have a handful of long-term employees that have kind of stuck with you through thick and thin? Or do you have some longevity in the employment history at your company? What is keeping people from spending their entire careers at your company? If you give people a well-defined career path, then it's possible, but they have to feel like they're progressing in their career at your company and not having to leave your company to get some of that career progression. The candidate experience matters. Everything about the candidate experience matters, from the time that they hear about your company through other people, or they visit your company website, or They see one of your job postings. Every stage is important, right? Online presence. That's your website and that's social media. That could be YouTube, that could be Instagram, Facebook, anything. However they could possibly discover your company, it starts right there with the impression that you're giving to future employees in the market, right? Is it attractive? Is it positive? Is it favorable? Does it look and feel like you are on the cutting edge of your industry, or kind of looking kind of stale, right? Are you participating in the social media platforms? Are you doing a good job at it, or are you just kind of barely scratching the surface, right? Are you using it correctly? A lot of questions to think about. Job postings, right? Where can your job postings be found? There's like thousands of job boards out there. How many are your postings on? Are your job postings actually on your company website? I'll go and visit some of your company's websites right now. Let's just go and visit and see. I'm going to jump on the PHCC member directory here and let's just see. I mean, whose site do we want to visit, right? I'm a customer of Brown Brothers. Maybe we'll visit them. Let's go to their website. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But how did that make you feel, right? You're like, what? It probably didn't feel too good, right? Especially if you know that your website isn't doing these types of things for you and hosting your job postings. And then from there, are they like automatically going out to a bunch of different sources so that your job postings are advertising all over the internet? There are some technologies out there, especially the ones that we use at JobBot, that will blast job postings everywhere. It costs a lot of money as well to do that, to participate in many different job boards, and none of them are free, very few. So it does cost more money, but that's how you win. That's how you get the applicant flow. That's how you get noticed. That's how you attract people. You have to be all over the place. Otherwise, your candidate pool is going to be super limited. Your applicants are going to trickle in and very few of them are going to be qualified. Another thing, your application process, right? How easy is it for people to click apply and get their resume on someone's radar at your company, right? Is it lengthy form they have to fill out, or do they just need to put their name, their email, upload their resume, and they're off to the races, right? That's how it should feel to candidates. It should be like Amazon, one click, buy now. It should feel like that, super fast. If you're making people fill out a form to apply to your company, they're going to get on line 2 or 3 and be like, I ain't got time for this. And they're going to get distracted. People have the attention spans of a gnat, right? If it takes any length of time to apply to your job, then you're going to lose people, a lot of people, through that whole process. Some people are going to stick it out and fill out the whole form, but there's no way to tell how many people that are abandoning that form and applying to a job over here that's much easier. What is the first interaction like with the first person who reaches out to them? Is it a bot that reaches out to them? Is it a person in HR? Is it a hiring manager? Are they getting an email? Are they getting a phone call? Is that phone call followed up with a voicemail? Are they also receiving a text message? Honestly, the best thing to do is just text people and send them a calendar booking link. If they don't answer the text, then send them an email. Oftentimes, if you call people out of the blue, what's going to happen? You're going to get their voicemails. You might as well take advantage of a Calendly link, like a calendar booking link. They're free. You Can Book Me has a service where you can send people a calendar booking link. Hey, really appreciate you applying to our job posting. Looks like a great fit. We'd love to chat. Please book time on our calendar at your earliest convenience. Here's the link. Boom. Your recruiting department can sit back and wait for phone conversations to get booked on their calendar. At least that's how I operate. My calendar gets literally booked solid all day because I'm reaching out to people that I'm finding. At the bottom of my marketing email, I'm putting book time on my calendar here. So I just talk to the people who book time on my calendar all day. Otherwise, what would I be doing? I'd be wasting a ton of time getting voicemails, playing phone tag. Nobody wants to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. How does it feel, that first interaction? Is it clunky? Is it easy? Your interview process. I'm going to talk a lot about interview process, but how many people are you losing through your interview process? Is it terrible? Is it god awful? Or is it fast and easy and efficient, right? What's the offer process? How does it feel, right? When you deliver an offer letter, what does it say? Is it kind of like they're signing a massive legal document that's like binding and they could get themselves in trouble by signing it? Or does it actually use playful language and feel great and use exclamation points? And does your company actually sound excited on paper when the candidate's reading this offer? Am I going to be excited about signing it, or am I going to be like, yeah, I need to let my attorney look at this thing? This thing is brutal. It's 10 pages. So something else to think about, right? Onboarding process. Once they sign the offer letter, of course, they got to fill out the background check forms and the onboarding documents. I mean, there's systems in place to make that part easy. Of course, you don't want to be sending people paper forms anymore. You definitely want to be using some type of e-signature platform. It's all got to be electronic and it's all got to be fast and easy. First week, do people feel like they're getting dropped off at the deep end of a pool and you say good luck? Or is it a calm and nice and easy, meet everybody, cool process to go through their first week? Kind of want it to be a feel-good process. Same for their first month, 90 days, year, even 5 years. Something should happen when a person has been at your company for 5 years. I mean, that's a huge milestone. You have to celebrate that in some way. It has to be a huge deal, right? And your other employees have to see that happening and watch it. And it has to be advertised on social media and everything. So, but there should be touch points where, hey, how's it going? How are we doing? All along the way, whenever they're hired, every year. I mean, every company does, most companies do performance reviews, annual performance reviews, but even sometimes those don't really feel that great, right? They're kind of done poorly. You're filling out this form for HR and you really don't even care what it says, right? I'm just going to rate you all 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. You're doing a good job. Keep going. Get out there. I don't want to keep you from billing. Are there any career coaching, any thing you're providing the employee to make them want to stay at your company long term? The whole experience matters because people are going to talk. They're going to talk to their peers. They're going to chat on social media about it. And it's all building your brand, your employee experience, right? It has to be amazing for you to win the war on talent. Otherwise, you're going to keep bleeding people. Let's keep going. Your job postings, okay? There's an art to doing job postings. And this slide doesn't do a very good job of like explaining it because it's a busy slide. But the whole purpose of a job posting is to get people to click apply. It's not to screen people. It's not to scare people away. And it's not to harp on requirements. And it's not to put in any legalese language in there. And you really want to limit the amount of requirements, bullet points that you're putting in there. I don't even like to call them job requirements. I like to say ideal background. There's a lot of things. You want to kind of make it fun, make it playful. So here's an example of a role that I'm working on right now for another client, a software company in Chapel Hill. Right? Don't worry about the title or anything like that. I'm just want to show you the structure of the description, right? Here's the PAL statement. Here's a little bit about the company. I'm going to focus right after that, not on job requirements and details. I want the candidate to know why us, why our company, right? I want to list out everything that they're going to get, right? What's in it for the candidate? That's what you want to focus a lot of the job description on. It's got to be an attraction-based job description and not a requirements-based job description. Very important. Reduce the length of the job posting. A lot of companies will put bullet points in their job postings that are like, well, duh. I mean, okay, you need outstanding communication. Okay, duh. You need good written communication abilities. Okay, duh. You need to be able to work well with others. Okay. What's the real requirements here? Of course, those are requirements. You know what I'm saying? Let's only put the ones in there that are like really important to this particular job, which is either some certification or how many years of experience. And even then you want to kind of be light about it, right? especially whenever you're trying to attract a diverse set of employees. If you use senior in your job title, a lot of females won't apply to that because they're like, I'm not senior. I'm kind of still mid-level or junior or whatever. You actually want to make your job title super generic. It needs to start with a PAL statement. What's going to get people excited? What's the one sentence that describes what this person is going to be doing on a daily basis that sounds super positive, and then end it with saying something about your company, right? Make a positive impact with our best customers for a fast growing HVAC company using the latest methodologies and technologies. I just made that up, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? We can come up with something much better than that if you sit there and think about it. You want to be an exciting statement to start off, right? And then, of course, location. You want to put the pay ranges in your postings. It's almost like 50% more people will apply if they see what the job pays. And you just got to be transparent. You just got to. I know you don't want to, but you got to, because everybody else is doing it and they're winning, right? About us. You don't want to make it stale and kind of like legalese about what we do. And you also don't want it to be vague. Like you can read the whole paragraph and not even realize, oh, this is HVAC company. Okay. This is a plumbing company, right? Okay. I didn't know that by that paragraph, but okay, I get it now, right? Just you got to be obvious and fun and short. That's what attention span of a gnat. That's what you're trying to attract here, right? What's it going to take to get somebody to apply? That's all you want, because your screening is done by a different process, not your job posting. And then your job duties, keep it limited. You don't want 10 to 15 bullet points here. You really want 5 to 7 bullet points, right? And just use the core job duties, and not like, some people like to add this job duty in there, and I guess somebody from HR is like, and other duties as described by your manager. Okay. Glad we didn't miss that bullet point, right? And whenever I start working on a role, I gut half the job description and fix it so people will apply, okay? I'm giving you all my secret sauce here. This is my special sauce. You're not even going to need me after this, but, I do want to help you. I really do. Here's a little screenshot right here of what it looks like on our website when people need to apply. We just need their email address and then upload your resume and then click apply. It's 2 items that we need. The rest we can pull off the resume, right? We're not making people fill out a giant form to apply to our job. We just want it to be fast and easy. Okay, interview process. How many steps are you putting people through, and how long does it take to get to the end of this thing, from the moment they apply to somebody reaches out to the offer letter in their hand, right? Think about it. I coach people to keep their interview process 2 interviews, maybe a third if you have to, but it should all take place within a matter of 2 weeks. No, it shouldn't take any longer than that. If it's taking longer than that, then your competitors are going to probably hire that person before you can. Or the candidate's going to lose some interest along the way, or they're going to get interview fatigue. And there's just no reason to put people through that, especially if they're already working in a job and then they're like considering leaving their job and coming to work for your company. And you're like, yeah, we're going to need you to come in 5 times. Like, oh, God, really? I mean, people suffer through that sometimes, but you're lucky when they do. So keep it simple. You want a phone screen, then you want a panel interview. That can be via video. I get it. Sometimes it needs to be on site. Right? If you're hiring local resources that are going to be on site at your customers, yeah, you want it to be on site. They got to come in. You need to see them. Then you may have one more follow-up call just to make sure you got all the, the I's dotted and the T's crossed, but no more than 3. Okay? Please don't do any more interviews than 3. Market pay rates, right? Where are they now? And how much have they increased since last year, since COVID? And are you still competitive, right? Back to this supply and demand chart. Right? You've got to be competitive. Otherwise, people are going to start leaving your company for the companies who are paying market rates. So you just have to stay competitive. There's some companies that I work with right now where they will hire someone at a higher salary than what they're used to paying. And they'll be looking at that in comparison to the rest of their employees. And they'll say to themselves, look, we're going to have to give everybody a raise just to make sure they're getting paid market and they don't leave. We don't want people to leave. We don't want mutiny in here. So might have to do that. It's going to be painful, right? What else are you going to have to do? Raise your prices. So, but you got to keep up, right? Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. So employee retention. There's nothing better that's going to keep your employees at your company than a clearly defined career path with just the right amount of gamification involved, right? It's got to feel like almost like a video game. Along the way in the video game, you build your character, you build up points, you build up widgets, you build up swag, you build up your ranking changes, your job title changes, and there is a career path all the way to, basically almost like running your own business. Like, yeah, I mean, you get to that point, you're going to be running your own team, and you're going to have your own dedicated marketing person, and you're going to be kind of running your own operation. We may even send you out to a different city we're not in, and you can start a branch there, right? You really need like this long-term approach. If your career path stops 2 years in and they're like a team lead or something like that, and there's nowhere else for them to go, then what's the next thing they can do? They can start their own company, right? A lot of people do that, start their own company. You actually want to make it so they don't have to do that. They can start their own company within your company. And you might take a smaller cut, but you can still retain that person and not, they're still under your company's umbrella and they're not a competitor. We can talk for a million years about this because you can brainstorm about how to actually do this for a really long time. This can take up to a year to get something that you're proud of, and it changes over time. But the long-term career path that has well-defined milestones and well-defined ways that you get promoted as well, right? After you have had such and such many client visits, whenever you have generated X number of dollars in revenue, then you get to graduate to a senior blah, such and such, right? There has to be all these milestones, and you really have to think hard about what it's going to be, because your employees have to feel like they're progressing on and on and on. So social media, right? Building a brand and a culture through social media, right? You really want to use social media, not just to put up ads about your services, right? You actually want to use social media as a recruiting tool to give recognition to your existing employees. When somebody just starts at your company, you want to do a social media blast. We're excited to welcome Jeff to our organization. He's coming from this number of years of experience, and we are super excited about him joining and having a fantastic career here at our company, right? And do a posting. And what does that do? It makes your employee feel recognized. It makes them feel appreciated. And you're marketing your company in the same time, right? Your potential customers see that you're excited about new employees. They see who you're hiring. That goes out. That's another piece of marketing. So you're almost using social media to your advantage. Not just about like, here's our special, we're running an ad, $99, for this particular service. That stuff gets old and stale, right? You want to use social media to promote your employees and recognize them for a job well done. John just installed his first hot water heater by himself yesterday. Check him out. He's fantastic so far. Whatever, right? Whatever it may be, use it to celebrate your employees in the small wins, their milestones along the way of their career progression, right? The gamification that you're going to build into your employee career path, right? It's going to be every time somebody hits a milestone, you got social media content right there for them, and that's going to make them feel good. Other people in the market are going to see that. They're going to see how good you treat your employees, and you're going to attract even more people to your company, right? TikTok just surpassed YouTube as the most viewed platform. So, TikTok is also a cool place where you can do little skit videos and kind of show the lighter side of your personality, or even do little educational videos, right? About the easy stuff that your company does, right? You don't necessarily want to have to do service calls for all the easy work. You don't want all these $50 service calls to sell a $100 part and that's it, right? You don't want to be driving all over God's green earth to do stuff like that, but you can put out educational content on YouTube and TikTok and social media. some of your employees may be interested in doing these videos, and they can be short, right? But little 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute videos that you can put out with your company's name brand on there, where you're showing people how to do kind of the little stuff for themselves, right? You can put this content out there and it'll build your brand, and then people will trust your brand and call you whenever they need something. They may still call you for the little stuff, right? They may still be like, you know what, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'd rather call them. I know they can do it. They did a video. I see how they did it. I just don't even feel like doing it. That's going to be a lot of your customers, but still, a lot of customers, they might find you on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. That's where everybody is. I mean, everybody's glued to their mobile device all day. I mean, they're sitting there scrolling all, before bed, sitting there scrolling. So you got to take advantage of that. You got to be there, and you want to be using social media to give recognition to your employees. That's kind of giving you advertising and as a recruiting tool at the same time. Okay, moving on. Using headhunters. I got this pie chart up here, right? You don't want to rely solely on a headhunter. I mean, I'd love it if you just hired me and utilize me to fill all of your positions, right? That would be incredible, but also expensive, right? We charge 25% of a candidate's base salary as our finder's fee. So, I mean, think about it. You got a 100K employee, it's 25 grand. You don't necessarily need to use us for the super junior roles, but you can for the senior roles and the ones that urgently need to be filled and you're not having any luck on your own. A portion of your recruiting strategy can be a headhunter. You actually want to get a couple, right? Two or three that you like, that you trust, that you can depend on, that actually know your business, and make the recruiting firms that you choose an actual business partner, right? They don't restock your Coke machine, right? It shouldn't feel like it's a transactional thing. They should feel like a business partner. They should understand what you're going through. Bring them into the conversation earlier. Oftentimes, I find that if customers would actually bring me into the conversation about their talent acquisition strategy early on, before they even decide what roles they need to hire, we get better outcomes because I can help them avoid potholes that they're probably going to hit along the way. Recruiters, especially the good ones, don't like to work through a liaison. I do work through folks in HR, but I don't go through them for every little thing. I like to be connected directly with the hiring manager, send the resume directly to them, book the interview. I'm sending the calendar invites and everything, all the while keeping HR informed about what's going on. I'm not just a resume sourcer. I'm not just going to send you the resume and then you pretty much take over from there, and all I've done is just find a resume on the internet. Okay, I'm running the process. Okay, if I have to go through them for every little thing, they're going to become a huge bottleneck for the whole process. So many things can go wrong. The process is too slow, and the chances of success is very low because I work on commission and I have to work on positions that are going to move fast and companies that are going to hire. I've got customers who can move much faster, so I honestly don't have time for that. So if that's not the recipe, then I've got other clients that I can support before I support a client like that. So keep that in mind. For every job order, you want to have an intake meeting. What are you looking for? What type of person? What level? What are the requirements? What's the interview process? Let's get it very well defined so I know what I'm looking for. And provide fast feedback to your agencies. They need feedback. If we did not hit a bullseye on the first couple of candidates we sent, you can't just say, yeah, they weren't a fit. Okay. So why not? What am I looking for now? I have to know. If it's just a personality thing, all right, well, we can find the same thing, just different personalities, but I just need to know so I can recalibrate my search or have a different conversation to deliver the right candidate on the next round of interviews. Also, be empathetic, right? I'm a human being. I happen to sell the only product on earth that can change their mind and that can lie to me. It's not perfect every time. I don't bat 1,000, right? I mean, even the greatest batter of all time, I think it was Ty Cobb, he batted like 350 or something like that, right? So, and that was the greatest batting average of all time. So we're not going to bat 1,000. Not everybody's going to be perfect. Just keep in mind, it's a person. It's not a widget, right? And then if you do encounter an agency that's being dishonest, right, that's an opportunity to replace them with a different agency. If you find a pattern here where they're misrepresenting a candidate, don't let that happen for very long. You want honest and upfront partners that's going to give it to you straight, tell exactly what's going on so that you can have a transparent conversation. Rick, listen, I've got a guy, I've got a candidate. It's a 4-year candidate. They have a PE license. They have the experience that you're looking for, but he told me that he has to wear a mask and floaties everywhere he goes, and he is scared of heights, so no tall buildings, okay? He can't go up into tall buildings. Basements, crawl spaces only, all right? And if you think you're getting kind of lied to, then get a new vendor, okay? So I hope this was helpful. If my contact information's on here, reach out to me. I'm on social media platforms as @TechRecruiterForHire. And if you want to chat, I'll probably send you my calendar booking link so we can make it super easy to connect. I will take any questions that you have and hope to chat with each one of you individually in the future. Take care.